Going to look at verbs, and we will remember that the verb icon is a hammer because we often hammer a verb to remind us that they are most commonly doing words. When we think of doing words, words like run, ran, thinking, went, go, it's very easy to identify the verb because we can see that it's something doing something or having something done to them. Perhaps the word thinking is less obvious as a verb because it doesn't seem like you're doing something, but you obviously are. Sleeping is a doing verb. Sitting is a doing verb. All of those words, we're quite good at identifying the verb in a sentence. The next kind of verbs are being verbs. Words like am, are, is, was, were, and the verb to be, like I would like to be a doctor. Those are all being verbs. They're often used in conjunction with another kind of verb. But of course I could use the sentence I am tired, and am is the verb. Tired is actually an adjective because it's describing how I am. And the last set of verbs I want to look at are having verbs. Words like have, has, had, and having. Those are again often used in conjunction with another kind of verb, but I could also use the sentence like I have a brother, and have is the verb, it's what I have. My brother would be the noun and I would be the subject in that sentence. And finally I want to use examples of where we're using something called the progressive tense, which is a tense that shows something is still happening or was still happening, and this is where we would combine doing and being verbs or being and having verbs, and that way we can create things that are ongoing. Words, phrases like I am thinking, or they were thinking, or she is having, or we were having. Those are combining being and having or doing and being verbs in order to create a phrase in the progressive tense. Okay, I'm going to show some sentences now, and I want you to think, now that you've thought about doing, being and having verbs, what the verb is in each sentence, remembering that some of them might be in the progressive tense or have more than one verb. So look carefully and you can use the list to help you, but remember to think, is it a doing, being or having word that is telling me the verb in the sentence? And then after you've had some time to think about what the answers would be, I'll show you the answers and see if it matches with what you thought. Okay, so let's look at each sentence. In the first sentence, I went to the park with my friends. Went is the verb, and it is in the past tense. It is a doing verb. They are very cold. Are is a being verb, and are is in the present tense. We had a lovely time. Had is a having verb in the past tense. They are having a party. Are having is a progressive tense verb using are having to show that it is still going on. The cat was chasing the mouse around the kitchen. Was is a being verb and chasing is a doing verb. Was chasing is the progressive past tense of chase. Was chasing means it continued to happen. I am taller than you. Am is a being verb. And I will have a drink is a having verb, but will have means it is in the future tense and using the verb will and have together.